Let's talk about the origin of She-Hulk and maybe get an idea of what to expect from her Disney Plus show next year. Jennifer Walters was born in Los Angeles, where her father was a well-known sheriff. If you haven't figured it out by now, she's also Bruce Banner's cousin. Now, she and Bruce were very close growing up. Bruce actually grew up with an abusive father, so oftentimes he and Jennifer would hide out in the library until it closed and then stay up all night reading books. Jennifer always wanted to be a dancer. Unfortunately, her father wasn't very supportive of this and often wouldn't show up to her recitals. Her mom, on the other hand, always did. One recital, her mom and her friends were driving there and they were hit by a car and her mother was killed. This immediately ruined Jennifer's relationship with her father. She put all of her focus into academics. She went to UCLA, graduated at the top of her class with a law degree, and began working in law almost immediately. One day while working, Bruce shows up to get something off of his chest. He tells her everything about how he's the Hulk and he's a wanted man. Naturally, she wanted to learn more, so they took off to her house where they could talk in private. That's when agents of the crime boss, Nicholas Trask, shows up, and they had just crossed paths with her father, and she was also working a case against them. Almost point blank, they shot her and seriously wounded her. Bruce got her out of there and broke into a doctor's office with Jennifer, who was only minutes away from dying. Seeing that there were no supplies there whatsoever, he gave her a blood transfusion using his own blood. Jennifer died anyway. But thanks to the transfusion, she was sent to the below place where she went through the metaphysical green doors, just like Bruce had when he became the Hulk. She came back to life and he got her checked into a hospital. Then the police showed up and naturally started pointing fingers at Bruce, so he hulked out and bounced. Meanwhile, Trask's guys come back and they decide to make another attempt at her life while she's in the hospital. The danger of the situation activated the gamma radiation particles, her skin turns green, and she shoots up to over 6 feet tall. So she trapped the guys for the police, she reverts back to her normal self to hide her identity, and that's how Jennifer Walters became She-Hulk.